This is the Ditoo speaker from Divoom. It's a wireless Bluetooth speaker with a colorful pixel screen and mechanical keys because, well, why not? Hey everyone, what is going on? I'm back with another video, and today we're doing a review of the Ditoo speaker from Divoom. This is a $100 Bluetooth speaker with some neat little features. It was sent to me by Divoom to check out and review, but as usual, these are my own thoughts on the product. If you don't want to wait until the end of the video, then that's fine. Right off the bat, I'll tell you that the pricing is fair. You're getting a good sounding, well-made little speaker packed with a bunch of extra little features. But stick around and let me explain. Included in the box are the speaker itself, which comes in a wide variety of colors. This one I got is the blue version. Behind the speaker is where you'll find the manual, the stickers, and a braided USB-C cable. Yeah, you heard that right, a braided USB-C cable and not a micro USB cable. So, you know, thank you Divoom for actually pushing forward with newer technologies instead of being stuck with a micro USB cable. Starting with the build quality, we have a hard plastic glossy shell based on the color that you chose. And all the little colors you see here are accent colors meant to complement your main color. The speaker has a fair amount of heft to it. It's about 1 pound, which is nice because for $100 you don't want to buy something that feels cheap. If you hadn't noticed by now, there are some keys on the front base of it. These are actually mechanical keys. They're Outemu or Outemu blue keys, which are basically blue switches. If you know your switch types, then you know that these are going to be very loud but also very tactile. They're mainly used for volume up, volume down, next song, previous song, menu button, and lighting button. They honestly feel really good to click. I mean, just take a listen. There's a little pull bar, similar to a slot machine handle, that you can use to select an option and do certain functions for games. The screen is a 16 by 16 3.55 inch pixel display. It almost resembles an old school computer or old school television set, which is a nice, cute, quirky little aesthetic. The LEDs in the display can get fairly bright when looking at them straight on. You can adjust them in the app as well, which I'll talk more about in a bit. There's also lighting for the mechanical keys. Each one has an LED underneath it that shines up, and it's very, very bright. There's not much you can really do to adjust them. All you can do is hold the M button down, and they'll turn off if you think that they're too bright, or you want to save some battery. Speaking of the battery, I wasn't able to find any technical specs on their website as to how large the battery is. But I have used it a couple times to listen to music and fiddle around with it, and I'm still on my first charge out of the box. I'm at 40%. In fact, I actually used the speaker the entire time I was writing the script for this video. I will say though that this isn't really much of a portable speaker. It's mainly just gonna end up living in your room, living room, somewhere in your house, and you're gonna play music off of it, and when it runs out of batteries, you can charge it with the included USB-C cable or any other USB-C cable. And I don't even think it's really designed to be portable or durable in case you're bringing it with you to the park to listen to music or to the beach and whatnot. I don't think it's gonna last or is meant for those conditions. Connecting Bluetooth with this device is as easy as connecting any other Bluetooth device. All you need to do is turn on your Bluetooth search function and search for Ditoo audio. And that's it. I've had zero issues with connectivity, and it has a pretty generous range of how far you can go. I was able to leave it in my office and then go to my bedroom on the other side of the house, and it still worked. The speaker is also compatible with apps like Spotify, where you can control your music, next song and previous song. I haven't personally tested it with other things like Google Play Music, Pandora, or Apple Music, but I'm going to say that it's safe to assume that it's all kind of the same. You could also preload music onto a micro SD card and then insert that into the micro SD card slot and play music off of that. I personally haven't used that because I don't think that many people are going to use the micro SD card reader for this, and mainly are getting this for the Bluetooth compatibility with your smartphone devices. But I mean, it's a nice option, I suppose. It'd be nice if it had a 3.5mm jack to connect your device with, but I understand because most phones don't even really have a headphone jack anymore, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But of course, this is a speaker first and foremost, so then the big question is, how does it sound?
You know that I don't fuck with all your little games. The way you make me feel, I've been so
it sounds really good. Now, granted, it is a top firing speaker and not a front firing speaker, so the audio won't be as clear if it were firing towards you because it's firing upwards.
You know that I don't fuck with all your little games. The way you make me feel, I'm in so much pain. I'm drowning in liquor, never been sicker. I'm not sober with you.
But what is important about the speaker is it is loud enough to fill a room.
And be carefree, baby, you and me. Head up in the stars, driving fast cars, feeling like we're outlaws with our deep scars and our fast cars.
There's also a bass port at the back, which serves to work to give it more bass and low ends. I don't know how it works, but I mean, overall, it sounds pretty good. I mean, of course, if you're paying $100 for this, you should be getting a good sounding Bluetooth speaker. Of course, if the build quality and the sound quality aren't enough to sell you on the product, well, then there's a bunch of little extra features included on the device. There's a bunch of games, Tetris, Brick Breaker, Snake, and more. There's also a painting app, or an audio monitor so you can hear how loud you are, and so many extra little features I don't even know what all of them are. But if that's not enough for you, well, then there's also the Divoom app for your phone. The app requires you to create an account before you can actually use it, but it's where you can find more intuitive controls for the pre-programmed features as well as the games. For example, for a controller for games, instead of having to use the buttons on the speaker, you can just use your phone to control something like Tetris. You can change how the clock looks, the color of it, the information displayed, whether or not you use the display as a light, how bright the display is, and a lot more. You can create your own graphics to display on the screen, or if you're untalented like me, you can just download another user's work to display. There's also the option to display notifications from apps such as Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and more. I haven't used this yet, mainly because I get a notification warning anytime I try to grant access to the Divoom app. The notification warning says that if you grant access to the Divoom app, it has access to the content within those notifications, which sometimes may or may not contain personal information, such as if you receive a message that has personal information in it, it has access to read that. You'll also grant the Divoom app access to turning on and turning off your do not disturb mode. I mean, make of that what you will. Personally, I haven't used it, but I see it as an extra feature on top of everything else that you don't really even have to use. There's also one last interesting thing about the Divoom app. They're trying to build it into a sort of social media site with likes, events, messaging, and more. I mean, I guess that's something cool. Personally, again, I don't much care for it, but it's a nice option, another feature on top of more features. Here are my final thoughts if you manage to stick around for the entire video. I think that this is a fantastic display piece in a living room, or a great gift for somebody who you're willing to spend the money on. The build quality is good, the design is quirky, the sound is fantastic, and then the connectivity is easy. Based on those things alone, I think that the price is pretty fair, because all of those little extra features like the games, the audio monitor, or the designs are all just that. They're extras on top of what you're already buying, which is a good sounding speaker with a cool aesthetic. So the pricing is fair. It doesn't seem too overpriced. I mean, right now on Amazon, it's $97.90. And then there's oftentimes coupons that you can clip out for, like right now, a 12% discount, which brings it down to something like $86, which is not a bad price. If you're considering getting a gift for someone and are willing to spend the money but don't know what to get them, consider picking one of these up. I guarantee that they won't expect it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Divoom Ditoo wireless Bluetooth speaker. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about it. Is it overpriced? Is it underpriced? Is it priced fairly? Does the notification access give you worries? Let me know down in the comments below. As usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.